So, the tea sipper wasn't so wrong after all. Dang, dudes. Just had to give it a little bit of time, boys. Give it some more time, okay? So, Deegan's bike apparently blew up. I don't know exactly what happened, but bike malfunction DNF in the first moto for Deegan, all right? Star Yamaha, I tried to tell you, dude. You messed up. You should have kept running those 50th anniversary white and purple bikes, dude. You saw what Haiden Deegan did on it at Washougal, and then now you take those bikes away, and look what happened, bro. I tried to tell him, guys. I really did, you know. Deegan could have had this championship, but, you know, had to go back to the black and blue bikes, man. Damn. So, basically, Haiden Deegan forgot about the number one rule of shit talking, which is you gotta be able to back it up. All right? And of course, the Deegan fanboys will jump and try to defend it and say, but he had a bike malfunction, Spencer. Yeah. And he also talked shit on Hunter Lawrence right after he had a bike malfunction. Exactly, bro. All I feel like this has basically done here is brought Haiden Deegan back down to reality when it comes to the points in the championship versus Hunter Lawrence. Just like straight up, I feel like it's brought him back down to where he really should have been this whole time in points, right? You know, Hunter Lawrence with his own bike malfunction DNF earlier in the season. Now, I know a lot of you Haiden Deegan fanboys just wanted to sweep that under the rug like that never really happened, and Haiden Deegan's so amazing because he's like second in points and he got the points lead and all this shit, you know, and Haiden Deegan was just that good to be in that position to get the points lead and all that, right? I've seen some of y'all boys. You can't hide from me, bro. I've seen you on Twitter talking some stupid shit. I saw somebody saying on Twitter, talking about, you know, well, this sucks for Haiden Deegan because he didn't lose the championship on his own terms. Bro, like, what the fuck? I swear, y'all boys crack me up, dude. If you're gonna talk about Haiden Deegan's bike malfunction DNF, you first have to talk about Hunter Lawrence's bike malfunction DNF before you ever even discuss Haiden Deegan's bike malfunction DNF. Like, hello? It just cracks me up, dude. It's like, listen, I know a lot of you guys think that I'm some big Haiden Deegan hater. I think he is the most fun to watch dude on a 250 that I've seen in a long time. You know, he's got that Ricky Carmichael style hanging off the back of the bike, wide the fuck open. Like, I'm all about it, dog. I mean, I genuinely think he is the most exciting dude, the most fun to watch on a 250 of the entire 250 class, bro. And I promise you, if I was some big Haiden Deegan hater, I would not say something like that. I can assure you, okay? But I have a really big problem when we get to this point with any of these pro motocross riders or athletes or whatever, where they get such a popularity where their fan base becomes so defensive that you can't even be like realistic anymore. You can't even say like normal, truthful things about it, or you're just a hater, bro, or you're just doubting the kid. Why you doubting the kid, dog? Like, you know, it's just unbelievable to me. It's like certain things you can point out that are 100% truthful about Haiden Deegan, about the championship, for instance. Like, he was never really in this championship like a lot of you boys thought that he was. He just never really was. A good example of it is, a lot of you guys think that it's like, you think that the championship has been Hunter Lawrence versus Haiden Deegan, but in reality, what it actually is Hunter Lawrence versus all of the other top 5 dudes in points in the championship. That's what it really is. But it's been disguised as a Hunter Lawrence versus Haiden Deegan battle because of Hunter Lawrence having to bike malfunction DNF and that putting him a lot closer with Deegan in points, and then all the fanboys run wild. There would have been none of that talk about Haiden Deegan getting the points lead and oh my god, he's just a rookie and yada yada, all this shit. There would have been none of that had Hunter Lawrence not had that bike malfunction DNF. So now that Haiden Deegan has had that same exact thing happen to him, now it's all brought back to baseline. Now it's all brought back to what it really should have been points-wise in this championship the whole entire time. Y'all boys were kind of running on a bit of a fluke. You were kind of hoping that Deegan was going to really be in this championship, but the only reason he was even there in the first place was because of Hunter Lawrence's DNF bike malfunction. Mad props to Brian Deegan, by the way, because he's been looking at this thing in a realistic kind of way the whole entire time, okay? Like, even in the interview of the second moto, they were interviewing Brian Deegan and he was talking about, well, this is the up and downs of the sport, and then Haiden Deegan has a crash in the background and then the mom freaks out and hits Brian Deegan like, oh my god, like he crashed again and shit, And, but Brian Deegan brought up in that interview, we understand that Hunter Lawrence already had a bike malfunction DNF earlier in the season. So our competitor, it kind of makes it even now in a sense. And that's the truth right there. That's some real talk right there. You've got to be able to take all that into consideration, because otherwise you're going to get tricked up into thinking that this certain rider was just on that kind of level anyways, when it really wasn't the case. I mean, yeah, Deegan's had moments of brilliance, and yeah, if you want to look at him as a average, everyday rookie coming through, yeah, it's really impressive. But if you want to look at him as like a Adam Cianciarulo kind of, or a Austin Forkner kind of, amateur coming through or whatever, is it really that crazy that he's like 3rd to 5th place kind of dude? I don't think so. Yeah, Deegan had a bike malfunction DNF in the first moto, but what about Moto 2? Hello? I understand he had a bad gate pick, but still, there was no excuse for Haiden Deegan getting 10th place in that second moto. He could have severely cut back on the points deficit that he ended up getting from this Unadilla round had he just finished better in that second moto. But he didn't. He got a 10th place on that. There's just no excuse for that, especially for how dominant he was at Washougal. I mean, I understand he's never really raced at Unadilla, whatever, but it just seems like when Deegan doesn't do so hot, it just turns into this endless sort of defense for it, right? Instead of just being like, well, he's probably more just like a 3rd to 5th place kind of guy this year. No, it can't be that. It's, we gotta, jump to all these defenses for him. Well, he had a bad gate pick, or he's just a rookie, or he doesn't know the track, blah, 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 bro. Holy shit. At some point, you just have to, realize that Haiden Deegan is actually more of just a 3rd to 5th place kind of guy this year. It just is what it is, man. I felt like he was that way in Supercross. I feel like he's that way in Nationals. I feel the exact same way that I felt from the very beginning. Again, he's had his moments of brilliance, and he had his amazing ride at Washougal, but other than that, you're really just reaching for any little thing you can grab onto to try to make it look like Deegan is actually better than what he really is right now, which is he's got 2nd in points in Supercross, and he's so good in points, dude. Look at him in the points, dude. All right, well, now the points have been equalized, okay? So now we're going to see the real where he actually stacks up and all that. He has one good race at Washougal, then he wants to bring up all this shit talking He's not supposed to be the one leading the points and all that shit. Yeah. Okay, well now karma got you with the exact same thing that happened to your competitor. Okay, and now you're way back in the points where you were supposed to be. Oh, damn, dude.